Let's get this party started. We will celebrate and sing. You are Savior and our King. Your love fills our heart inside with a joy that shows and won't hide. This party will never end. Jesus is our forever friend. It's time to turn up the bass. Lift your hands, lift them up in praise. So let loose and sing. Shout praises to our King, Jesus. Let's get this party started. We will celebrate and sing. You are Savior and our King. Your love fills our hearts inside with a joy that shows and won't hide.
Clap your hands. Air guitar. Stop your feet. Drum solo.
Hey Quest kids, it's Miss Casey again. Thank you for joining us on another Quest Live. Now today we're going to learn the last solid standard of leadership before we switch to something different if we're still staying at home next week. But before we do that, I want you guys to get warmed up, get all your sillies out, get all your wiggles out. So we're going to throw on some really intense music. Now there's going to be different genres. And every time I throw out a genre, I want you to dance to that genre, okay? I'll give you an example. This first genre for practice is going to be very ballet type of slow moving music, okay? So when I say go, that music will play, and I just want you to dance along with that music however you feel like you should. You ready? All right. 1, 2, 3, go! All right, let me see your best ballet type of movement. All right, make sense? All right, this next genre is gonna be some crazy, silly music. And I just want you to do the craziest, silly, wiggliest dance that you can do. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, go! Get all the sillies out! Wiggle till you can't wiggle anymore! That was a lot of work. All right, this last and final genre is hardcore rock music. So if you've never headbanged before, I'm gonna teach you how. All you do is you bring your head back as far as you can, and then you bring your head up as far as you can. And if you have long hair, or hair like mine, you have to make sure that your head goes with it. You ready? Okay, headbanging, hardcore rock music. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, go! And if you want to throw an air guitar in, you can too. Awesome. Okay. Woo! All right, let's calm down. Did everybody get all their silly wigglies out for the day? Me too. All right. Let's talk about this solid standard. But before we do, go ahead and get out a sheet of paper and something to write with. Make sure you're listening. Let's begin. All right. Today's solid standard of leadership is great leaders guard their purity with wise choices. Now that's an interesting sentence. I highly doubt that you say that sentence on a regular basis. Great leaders guard their purity with wise choices. Well, let's talk about what that sentence means. Now, we know what it means to guard something. If you've ever played basketball, if you're guarding, that means that you're not allowing your opponent to get the ball if you have it or if a teammate has it. And if you're guarding well, it means that at no cost will you let that person get the ball from you. Maybe you've played capture the flag and you're guarding your flag for your team. What does that mean? It means no matter how fierce someone comes at you, you're gonna run as fast as you can. You're gonna tackle them if you have to guard your flag. If you're a good guard, you know exactly what I mean. So if great leaders guard their purity, we should know what purity means. Purity is simple. It means your innocence. Our innocence means that we have a pure, kind way of thinking about life. Have you ever met someone who wasn't pure? Maybe it was a friend at school or an older family member. Maybe it was someone who looked at life with a selfish point of view, looked at life with a negative point of view, and brought everything down. That's not innocence. Innocence means that we have the ability to genuinely see the world the way that God sees the world. And our innocence is a good thing. It's something that we want to guard at all costs. So how can someone allow their innocence to be ruined? Well, it's ruined when we allow unpure or uninnocent things influence us. Maybe that's something that we watch, a book that we read, or a friend that we choose, relationships. All of these things are influences. So we need to do a very good job, Kuest leaders, at guarding our innocence by watching and being mindful of the things that we allow to influence us, the things that we put ourselves around. We need to make sure that those things are innocent, something that God would approve of, and something that's pure. Now, our innocence is kind of like this lollipop. Now, I'm sure all of you like candy. I haven't met a single person who doesn't like candy. And our innocence, just like candy, is a good thing. It's a sweet thing. It's something that is to be enjoyed. It's a God thing. But I also have two jars in front of me. I have a jar full of dirt and I have a jar full of sugar. Now you know this if you've ever eaten a lollipop, is that when you start to eat it, you lick it, right? And when you lick it, it gets sticky. If I wanted to put this lollipop on my shirt, I'm not gonna, but if I were to put it on my shirt, it would stick to it, right? Because I've licked it. Our innocence is very much like this lollipop in this way too. Our innocence, if we're not guarding it, impure things or pure things can stick to it. So it's kind of like these two jars. This dirt here is going to represent an influence that isn't pure or isn't godly. And this jar of sugar is going to represent something that is pure, that is innocent, that is godly. If I were to stick this lollipop in this bowl of sugar, we know that all the sugar would stick to this lollipop. Now, did I just make this lollipop better? Yeah, I did. I made it better. And the same thing is true when we keep our innocence around things that are innocent and pure. It makes it sweeter and better. But if I took this sticky lollipop and I put it in this jar of dirt, guess what stuck to my lollipop? Dirt. The same thing is true, guys, of our innocence. If we put ourselves around influences that aren't pure, that are kind of dirty, those things will stick to our innocence and it will affect us. It will change the way that we see our world. It will change our attitude. We want to make sure that we fight to see the world the way that God does. And we do that by guarding our innocence and guarding our purity. And that's something a great leader does. All right, get out a sheet of paper and something to write with. I'm going to ask you a couple of Kuest questions for today. Question number 1. Can you name someone in the Bible who guarded their purity? Can you name someone in the Bible that guarded their purity? If you can't think of someone in the Bible, maybe think of someone in your personal life who has guarded their purity. Can you think of someone in the Bible who has guarded their purity? Question number 2. Can you think of someone in the Bible who did not guard their purity? Can you think of someone in the Bible who did not guard their purity? Question number 3. Can you as a Kuest student think of ways that you can better guard your purity? Can you as a Kuest student think of ways that you can guard your purity? All right, if I move too fast for you during the questions, you're more than welcome after this live stream to go back and listen to them again and take your time to write them down. Now, if you are a part of a local Kuest group, your Kuest leader may want the answer to your question. Now, if you're part of a local Kuest group, your Kuest leader may want the answers to your questions. So, make sure that you check in with them to see if they'd like them and how they would like those questions answered and given to them. Thank you so much for joining us during this Kuest Leadership live stream. You guys are amazing, and we are so proud that you have chosen to become a better leader at your age. That's something really cool and really rare. Good for you. Now, we have been talking in the last couple of weeks about solid standards of leadership, but next week we're going to talk about different things surrounding the topic of leadership, Kuest, and how it relates to you. So if we're staying at home next week, we'll be joining you again live. We'll see you soon.